So you see they change your JavaScript library in the external JavaScript files, you change some message and then some calculation, and then you save it, and then it is still it is the same. That you changed it here, the value itself it works, and then this is the message is changed externally, and this is the file is changed properly. And then refresh your page, it should have different message like hello, say hello. You see the hello world external JS library, that's true. And you change you see the button, it's working in the 6, and then it works. The add function is working. 4 plus 2 is 6, number 6. So let's import the other functions. So we have some like some multiplication, multi, so multi multi, it is 2, multi, that's true, multi, sorry, multi, and then multiplication, and then a multi, it's like, let's say the multiplication, and then you have some division like dip. So dip functions are written down completely a dip. We can say di dip. So divisions. So refresh. So you see the multiplications. Multiplication is not defined. So click HTML page 9 and division 2. So it's multi. Let's see. Go back to the page. Okay, multi. Sorry. You see the effect of this one. If you have a really mismatch or misnaming into your function, because you written the functions here the multi, but you write down here the function call as a multi function is here. So you see that's you see the debug, and then it works. Debug message into your browser. So you see the uncatch reference error, multi is not defined in the place number 9, and then it's so on so forth, it works. So let's refresh it and say it still works. External library to number add 4 to plus 2 6, and the multiplications what again, do we change it again? No, multiplication. Okay, we didn't change it. Save it again. So the multiplication 4 multiplied by 2 8, and then this is the multiplication, add division 4 divided by 2, that means result is 4. That's you get it properly. So that means every time you check it like in the debug console, and then check it functionalities, that's you got the proper result and exception. So you see, you got the idea what I mean. What you write down your external JavaScript functions, how complex is it, doesn't matter, but and then you put it the head sections where it is located, and then your JavaScript library name, and then call the individuals JavaScript function that's you written down, or we input your all the third-party JavaScript library like jQuery, like OpenLayers or leaflets, and so on so forth, other libraries, and then call the functions inside your body section where is located, but you need to be input like this way and call this function. So that's the idea. How can you externally write the JavaScript library, integrate to the JavaScript library into the HTML page, and then call the individual JavaScript functions that you are written down the files, and then it works automatically. So that's one of the example externally how it works and how it's, and I will show you the little bit complex example how the JavaScript library is complex cases. So you see the one of the example like the complex cases, I will talk you a little bit later, because we are not far away for that one. So we write down the one functions, it is building the dynamic user links and something like that, and then and then it's static links of this one, and then we call this JavaScript library. You see the JavaScript library code is there, the style CSS, external EST style CSS files, and we call the functions. You see the on-click functions, dynamic function. It has the 3 input parameter, link ID, and then it has a forms, and then so on so forth. This is a little bit complex, but I will show you later and discuss a little bit later how can you build the basic JavaScript forms, call it JavaScript function, do validation, how can you get the values from the different JavaScript IDs, and so on so forth from the input values. But we can run it this HTML page and check it how it is work, how it's look like, but I will explain it a little bit later. So I will open it in the from Chrome. So you see the what is written down in JavaScript HTML page, and the idea is look like to build a dynamic URL for some projects, in the professional projects, and build and then copy this URL, each copy for each of the copy sections, that button. This is a very simple one example how it is done. So if I go to this here, so you see the create dynamically those links. You see that here the 8 links, you can go the 8 links, it's automatically create the dynamically. You see the numbers like this, that's like dynamically 8 numbers. If you go to the hundreds of the dynamic linkings, then this works hundreds of dynamic linking. That's, you see that 0 to up to 99 the dynamic linkings. That's I mean. So how the JavaScript functions handle, how your business logic handle, it's depending on how it's you handle it or how you do it, call it those functions, and then after that you build your JavaScript, the HTML pages, the logic in behind the scene, but the logic inside the JavaScript function itself. So if I go to the logic for this one, the very simple case, we call the JavaScript function. It has a size. We put it on 100, and this is a link value or the static value for your web page. That's you see in here the static value. This part, the static value for the web pages, and then you have the static also another values for the for maybe the IP address for the machines. This is the code. This is coming from the input marks that's I loading. That's I said I'm talking about a little bit later for this section, because we are not far away that code. So this is, we are executing this this program code with dynamically program code, and then it's split automatically. It's reading the few forms and get the form input value and build the logic this one. But basic idea, how can you externally write really complex JavaScript function, call it into the HTML page, build your functionalities. Let's say we remove the ID and for this section. So we change the JavaScript library a little bit here, and then we nothing to do here because logic is there. So we changed it this here. Then now we go to your browser. Sorry. So if we refresh it, see the at the moment we have this 8 examples. Maybe we can put it here the 50, maybe a little bit different expression. We change the logic, like don't create the dynamic number IP address before this number. So you put the input marks 50 URL IP address, and then you see. So it doesn't work. I mean, let's see what's happening. Do we have it? Okay, you see the plus number, you see the exception is doesn't here. So let's see the correct see the exception, what the mean. You see the exception is properly unexpected identifier catch unreferenced error and geometry not defined in HTML page on click event line number 21. So line number 21, and then your JavaScript function line number 50. Let's check, is JavaScript function line number 50. Yes, that's true. This is JavaScript function line number 2. It was missing the plus sign. We removed it was here. It was I plus, the number I plus. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Typing doesn't work properly. Yes, now. So it was that one, so we remove it. Unfortunately the plus sign, it gives the exception. So let's say again to remove that one, that part, and now refresh.